Hi guys, my name is Carlos and in this video I'm gonna show you how to debug a C++ program using Visual Studio Code in Linux. Okay, here's my Visual Studio and I am using this version of Visual Studio 1.40.0. This is the version of my Visual Studio Code and my Ubuntu is version 16. Okay. Um, for this video I am using a project that I downloaded from Udacity repository in GitHub, and the link is here that you can see. Let me show you the link where I download the project here. Here is the link of Udacity, and here is the name of the project, System Monitor from Udacity. You can go to this link and click in this button, clone or download this project, and you can test this project in your machine. Okay, back to my window. What I have here, let me check here. Okay, right, I have my Visual Studio. Okay, and as I said, here is the directory of my project where I download the project System Monitor. Okay, we have the search directory here, the include, and others directories, others files that we use in this project. Okay, going ahead. Um, what I did to launch my Visual Studio, I just typed code dot, okay, code space dot to launch my Visual Studio, because I want to launch my Visual Studio from this directory, but it's already running. I don't need this command right now because my Visual Studio is running. What I need to do right now is check my files. Here is the project that you can see here, the directories, build, and the others directory. On the others directories is the search directory here with the files, and I will select the main file. Okay, main file. I can put here a breakpoint in this line, so I am saying to Visual Studio that I want to stop in this line during the execution. But before I start debugging, I need to open this option and add some configurations to my debug profile. In this case, I click Open Configuration, and what it will you do is open this option C++ using GDB. Okay, choose this option, and here you can see that there are some options for compile. So I will choose the first one here. You can choose any other or anyone that you think that is what you want. Okay, I use this option, and what the Visual Studio does is it creates as you can see here, a launch.json file that contains the configuration of my debugging process. Okay, but what we need to do now is configure this file. I mean, for example here, program. The program variable is pointing to your executable for a file. Okay. Um, so you need to replace this string, this string path with the path to your executable file. Uh, Another option is that you need to check if you have the path to your GDB debugger, okay, and you need to check other variables here to make sure your launch.json file will work correctly. But to avoid the time to configure this file, I already have this file ready to use. That is this file launch.json here, mm, the project directory. That I will copy this file launch.json to the directory where is that you can see here .vs code, where is the just create oh, sorry where is the just created uh, launch file from Visual Studio. Okay, that is this file here. Back to here, back to our terminal. Copy launch JSON to VS Code. Enter. Okay, file compiled. Let's see here. Oh, already changed. Note that the file is not the same. Let's take a look here. What I did was in the program variable, I just replaced it for the template for my path, that is workspace slash build slash monitor. I mean, the monitor is the executable file that I want to debug. Uh, another another thing that I changed in this file was um, I I did comment out this line here. Why? Because if this line says to Visual Studio that I want to launch task for compile my file. Okay, you can see here the name of this variable is pre-launch task. I mean, this task here is executed before the debugging, but because in this video I am just debugging my C++ project, I don't want to compile this file. In this case, any change that I need to do in my source file, for example, main and any other file that I have here in my project, I can do this change, okay, and instead of use Visual Studio to compile, I am using the make, okay, the make that is already configured in this project. You can see here that I have all the files used by make or by cmake and make, cmake list, my make file, and so on. And also you can see that I have the build directory here, where what I have in build directory, ls build. Okay, you can see that I have some files that were created by cmake and by make, and here is my executable that I want to debug. Okay, so I will use make to compile any uh, any change, okay, that I make in my source file, and in this case um, I don't need to uh, I don't need to configure, I don't need to set up the configuration of Visual Studio Code for compiling, because I will not use Visual Studio to compile my project. Okay, going ahead. Now that we already have uh, the launch file and already configured, what we need to do now is click debug option and start debugging. F5. Okay, let's go ahead, click, running. Voila! You can see that the Visual Studio stopped in the line that I had set up a breakpoint. And here is a very important thing. If you run your project or if you run your Visual Studio for debugging and you have a breakpoint, okay, and the Visual Studio d- does not stop in the breakpoint, um, it's very probably your executable file does not have the debug symbols. In other words, probably you are using a release version of your executable file instead of the debug debug option or the debug version. Um, how can I see, or how can I produce the debug version? Just back here to terminal. Uh, you can see here that I have the make file. If you open the make file, okay, what you have in make file, you have two options: build and debug. When you run uh, this option here, you are producing the release version. When you run cmake, in this case you can see cmake with no option, it will produce the release. In this case, cmake with uh, define for my cmake, for my configuration, the debug version. So you need to use cmake with this uh, this variable or this define configured as debug. Okay, otherwise the make tool will produce the release version that will not work with Visual Studio. Okay, well, just going a little bit ahead, we have a stop here, and now we have the display function. Let's just take a look just a little bit more. Um, what is the display function? Display function is part of which file? Um, it's part of any cursor display. It is here, any cursor display, because IntelliSense is giving a tip to us. I can open here, okay. Is the any cursor display file, and inside this source file, I have here the display function. What I can do is again put a breakpoint here and run my debug process. I can use um, F10, for example, or I can use continue. Why? Because any option that I use here, the debugger will stop here in the next breakpoint. Okay, so there is no so I can use any of these two options. Let's use this F10. F10. Oops, here the debugger stopped at the next breakpoint. What can I see here? I can see that this xmax function was executed, and also we can see that getMax of function passed the st this variable st screen to getMax. Okay, just a little bit more. You are saying that we are already debugging the file. Here in the debug window, you also can see some variables being displayed. For example, um, the xmax has a value that is here, 80. Okay, and other variables you also have here. That is the window variables. Okay, so for example, n equal 10. That's the value passed to display function. Going ahead, I can set F10 again, click F10, one more line, again F10, again F10, again, and display system, display process. Nothing yet, but when I click F10, what I can see here, um, what is my scroll down? Okay, next, not yet. Refresh, terminal, not yet, and system thread F10. Okay, it is running, and I go to this part of the program. I can put a break here. Okay, and what I have here, uh, where is my, oops, I lost my, oops, oh, configuration. Where's my, here, okay, again, here, you can see that display function is sending some informations. Okay, some informations are being executed. Let's do a F5 here, F5 again, stop it, because here I have infinite loop while. This while will be executed until I click Control C, or I get any bug in my program. Okay, and let's remove this breakpoint. run the project terminal. Yes, I cannot see my terminal running. Okay, let's stop the program. Let's stop it here. Let me take a look. Let me take a look. The terminal. Ah, oh my God! I found it. Here's it. Here is the output of my project. Okay, just to have a quick idea. Uh, let me uh, let me reproduce this last this last part again. Remove this breakpoint. Put the breakpoint inside the loop. Going a little bit display. Okay, going a little bit back in main. Remove this breakpoint, and now I call my debugger again. Note that um, F5 here. Here. I was looking for the terminal window. Note that my debug process stopped here in this line inside the while, and I have what here? I have the window of my project. Here's the window of the system process, system monitor. Okay, the window that was created here uh, in the here window, system window, process window. Create the window and then go inside the loop. My window that that was called here. Here are the commands. My window is here, so you can see that this process of creating the window is working. Okay, and if I go ahead, going F10, F10, um, I also can see that. Let me put this window here so I can see the terminal being updated. Oh yeah, decrease this a little bit. This one too. Put this here. Here's my window. Oh here. Okay. So not yet. A little bit more. Not good. Got sometimes. Okay. Okay. My the problem is that my space here is too short. My space to visualize. Okay, no problem. This is enough here. I can at least this part of the window is enough to see what's going on. Then I click F10, F10. Oh, could you see? This display system, this function, is responsible for display this part of the window. And you see that it is working. And you go ahead. We have a window refresh here. F10, F10, F10. Oh, more created here. You could see that others here are the process PID, CPU, and so on. So that's the C++ program being debugged. So you can go to other parts of your C++ project, like the process, set some, for example, here we have the PID, um, set some breakpoints, process. Oh yes, you need to complete some informations where it's necessary. Which more? And okay, that's it. My idea here was just show how to use Visual Studio, how to put Visual Studio um, to run a C++ program in Linux, because we had found some difficulties. I have seen some guys having difficult to put this scenario to work. Okay, but remember, uh, you must have this in the case of CMake, this define used. What I mean is, for example, let me stop with the debugger, stop here. Suppose that I make some changes here. Make a, look, make a X here. It's wrong, okay, no problem. Just to see what happens. I save my file, okay, file saved. Then what I do, I go to my directory, my build directory, build here, and I run make, okay, and voila, I have an error here. K is something wrong in my source file. It means that I can use make to compile my file. Okay, I go back here, remove this strange thing here, save my file again, save file again, back to build directory, run make, run make again, type make, run, and you see that it compiles. Okay, now that 100%, you can see here, now that it is compiled, you can just go back to Visual Studio and put um, the debugger to run again. Okay, and that's it. Okay, remember, you can download this part from Udacity in that link that I showed it to you. Remember the launch file here. Don't forget. We are not using this part of the launch file. You can use, but in this case I'm not using, just to avoid the compilation, because the idea here is just to show how to debug. Okay, so I removed this option here. Okay, bye bye, thank you for watching.